Okay, so I decided to make a tea. And this has nothing to do with anything other than the fact don't put anything spicy in tea if you don't like spice. But okay, so I am not big on religion. I've said this already before. I have nothing against anybody that has any religions whatsoever, no matter what it may be. I'm not against it. I'm not necessarily for it. Kind of neutral. However, I like to educate myself with stuff. And I was doing the archangels. I forgot Sadiq. I changed all the I's to A's. Don't ask me why. And I was color coding too, because when they're put in there, I guess they have different colors. I was doing all their, like what they have, scale and sword, what their roles were, their energies. And then I was thinking about the bloodlines, how there's a blue blood and there's red blood. And you know how there's all that different stuff with kings. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I was like blue and red. That makes purple, obviously. Indigo, right? And then I break it down. And it's like a purplish color. Purple being the third eye chakra. Anyway, so get back to what I was doing. So I was looking at how it said malevolent and benevolent, and how one is angel, one is demon. That's how they're depicted. And I'm gonna go back to the whole idea of energies, how even energies that were created a long time ago, if that were to be a thing, that it continues, it doesn't just disappear. Anyway, so get back to it. I was breaking down the words of benevolent, malevolent, and I was like, oh, bene or mal. It's like, oh, it's almost like Italian. Good, bad. V is also 5. I'm going to take a picture of this and maybe you use it as the front of this video. Volume, mass, weight. And I'm thinking, well, light as a feather, stiff as a board idea. Then trauma, your baggage, weighs a person down. The more baggage you have, the more trauma you have, the heavier you are, your conscience anyways, your soul, whatever you want to call it. And I think there's something to do with the Egyptians, how they do the weighing of one's soul or something like that in the afterlife. And then also I seen a little picture that was going by, and then it showed me this. It was a cartoon actually, when I was looking for the meaning of another word, and I seen that and I was like, well, that reminded me, I think that is N in Egyptian hieroglyph, which is water, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then I broke it down. I was like, Lent. Okay, well, obviously I've heard of that before. I think that's a religious thing too. And then that means to fast. And then back to your volume, volume. Volume can also be sound, frequency. I should put that in there. If we resonate, the more baggage we drop, if we resonate at a higher frequency, we are technically lighter, I'm going to say. Light. Get it? Anyways, now that I broke that down too. The. And there's like math. Anyways, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Volent. When I was typing that in, different languages have different meanings, okay? So, not comparable, that exercises will or choice, okay? It's like free will, free spirit, spirit could be benevolent or malevolent. It's possible. Anyways, go back to here. Vol. In, I think it was Francais, could translate to fly. And then I was like, oh, we got like a feather, right? Fly. And then Lent was fast. And then I just started laughing because I'm kind of like that. And I was like, fly fast. That's hilarious. And then another translation, nimble, agile, quick, heraldly. Not quite exactly. I don't use that word very often. Another, where was it? Full, complete. Second person, check. French again. You got the little crest over here with the wings, and it's flight, vol. I like the whole idea of complete. So when you are merging the two sides, oh, and Albanian is walnut, which I would consider like the brain. Dutch, full moon, two halves, or I say C and D. But anyways, you want to merge them together. It's like I would say like the brain, right? Spine. That's my whole rendition of it. Right, left, right. Because when we're looking this way, this is our right. Well, actually, somebody's looking at us. That's our left. Anyways, that's a whole other thing too. And I thought that was just fascinating. This is kind of a general idea of how I break things down. And I do my research the best I can. And then there was, I think they had prayers or something for the archangels. And and I also circled. I thought that was interesting too. And then over here, excuse me, that's a T. Ra, sun, ha. Breathe. I don't know what, ta, maybe earth. I didn't look that up completely. It was, also could be na. Turn the Z sideways. That's also a rune. Raise our heads and voices, connect internally to out. May we hear gentle voices clearly to lead us through our darkest pains that help. Teach us wisdom through sorrow, so we all walk in light unborrowed. Divine beings, you have shared with us knowledge and wisdom through the energy to assist us here in the 3D. All archangels and those who follow truest paths, we ask for assistance to combine all the energies together to bring forth justice and balance to all who believe and those ignorant here on earth. Fight with heart's power of love, compassion, and empathy. Protect the innocent and the weak. Hear us all. Hear me. I wrote this. Why? Because I didn't like the prayer or whatever they had for the archangels. I think there was only 3 of them. I was like, oh, that's not really fair. I'm like, who the hell am I, right? Anyways, I thought this was interesting. Kamul, strength, courage. It's a cup and a staff. Actually, I think they said it was a chalice. Mars, but had like a little, I think it was a 3-leaf clover. It was like stained glass window, and I was thinking the whole idea of the 4. Uriel, blue cherub, gate of Eden. I thought that was interesting. Like, was there actually an Eden place? Was there a place? Or it's in books, so it's written by man. Who knows what's passed down? I just wrote this. Like, I could put this in a book, right? Why not? Was like knowledge and wisdom, book scroll. So yeah, Uriel had, what is it? A disc for the sun and a disc for the stars. I thought that was very similar if you think of, what is it? Nut and Isis for the Egyptian goddess, mother of sky holds the sun and the stars. I'm going to put that down there. Newt. I don't know if I spelled this right. I think there's 2 dots. Newt. I'm not sure. And I think Isis. Which in the news, don't they talk about ISIS or something like that? But they make it a negative thing, which I found weird. Israel. Death. In the depictions, the pictures I seen was holding like a scythe. That reminds me of like a reaper. But is neutral because I guess these type of energies are here. If they were to be on Earth, the energy would have to be like a possession of a living thing, and they're like a guide. So they're neutral. They're not for or against anything. They're just a guide. They don't judge. They don't weigh in on any of that stuff. They're just a guide. And then Ariel, which I thought was cute because that's like the mermaid, right? Lion of God. And then I put death of old ways, birth of new, I guess. Light, animals, connection, good health, strength, beauty, nature. It's just fascinating to all these. Anyways, yeah, that's how I broke it down for benevolent and malevolent. I'm sure I could continue and just keep going. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not high, just in case you're wondering. I am sober. And, yeah. So, what was I going to say with the whole like and subscribe stuff? Yeah, don't bother. Just watch the frickin' video. Take what you will from it. Learn. Learn yourself. Learn about yourself. Heal. So you can drop that trauma baggage. So you can be light as a feather. Then fly fast. Much love.